Hey, what's wrong with you, man? You ain't subscribed yet? IUIC Atlanta Burning 2.0. What you waiting on? Get it done, do it now.
Hey, get them clicks, get them likes, and subscribe. Do it now.
I done seen the future in America won't make it. I can look at Europe and I see it for the taking. China's about to fall, the economy is breaking. We ain't asking for the kingdom, man, we about to take it. Take it. World domination, we gon' take it. I don't need your money, yeah, we coming out the matrix. The London Bridge is falling, the Eiffel Tower falling, Statue of Liberty is falling. Call that world domination.
You understand? You wouldn't do that? You wouldn't go to your boss like, hey, I observed the Sabbath because Christian church have Sunday off, right?
I work. So I got school Monday and it works for my schedule.
Right, you have school Monday, right?
Yeah.
You work Sunday?
No.
Why not?
I have 2 days off.
See, again, you can go and ask for Saturday off and change your schedule around. You wouldn't want to observe God's laws to keep the Sabbath to get the kingdom of heaven?
No, I wouldn't say that, but I'd rather keep my schedule how it is.
So what's more important, your schedule or the kingdom of heaven? So I'm not saying, we're not telling you not to work, understand? What we're saying is, in the midst of this captivity, observing God's laws, getting the kingdom of heaven so that way we no longer have to work is the utmost important than this captivity and us slaving paycheck to paycheck. Make sense?
Bring it out. Maybe not slaving paycheck to paycheck, but honestly.
The company you work for, All Pro, right? You own it?
No.
You don't. You have to ask them for a vacation?
No, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
But guess what? When the kingdom comes, you no longer have to ask for vacation. You don't have to ask for time off.
Right.
You no longer have to ask for those things, because guess what? You'll be the owner, the ruler of not only the company, but the entire planet. That's what the kingdom of heaven is for. And prophesied in the Bible. You understand? So I understand you got to go to work, bro, but it will behoove you. If you want the kingdom of heaven, you must keep God's laws. And in order to keep God's laws, you must, part of it, keep the Sabbath.
So if you work, okay, say you work Monday to Friday, right?
Right.
So how would you operate your life around that?
You work Monday through Friday, Exodus 20. I'm gonna show you. Read that. This is the answer to your question right here.
Exodus chapter 20 and verse 8.
Bring it out.
Remember the seventh day to keep it holy.
There it is again, just like the other scripture says. Right, the Bible always mentions the Sabbath. Come on.
6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work.
So it says 6 days you can labor, do all your work, from Sunday to Friday, going into sundown. Read that part again. 6 what?
6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work.
Whether it's going to school, whether it's working, whether it's your own garden, whether it's your side hustle. 6 days you have the time to do that. Come on.
But the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. In it thou shalt not do any work.
God made it plain and simple, right? I know you understand. I don't have to break that part down. 6 days you labor and do all your work. The seventh is the Lord's day. In it you shall do no work. Now again, we're not telling you not to have a job. We're not telling you not to pay your bills and have income and things like that to maintain your house, right? But to make the statement, I would rather choose the way I got things versus changing it slightly to satisfy what God says, to get the kingdom. That's the most important thing, to do that. Because why? Doing our own way got us this. Doing our own way got us what you see here in Columbus, Georgia. Us with the black on black crime, us single parent household, us having hatred for one another, us living at the bottom of society.
Right.
That is what God is here. By what? Breaking God's commandments. Again, when I tell you not to work, I said it many times. But if you say, hey, you know what? I like the way my lifestyle is. The hell with getting the kingdom. The hell with ruling. I like living paycheck to paycheck. I like asking for time off. I like requesting days off. You know, because even when you say you're in school, right? Even when you graduate, guess what you're gonna do? You still gonna have another job. You gotta act for those days off, unless you become an entrepreneur, right, and make your own schedule, right? So again, this is not gonna change the situation. So you actually go to your management and say, hey, listen, can I get the Saturday off? You ain't gotta go into a whole bunch of details. If they want to press the issue, guess what? Then you say, hey, it's something I believe it's in the Bible. I want to observe it. You know, Sunday through Friday, you can do that. What? you know, it's a law that you got to congregate, you know, things of that nature. So I understand you late for work, but just adhere to what God says in this regard. You know what I'm saying? Oh, let me email in the back, Dom. We ain't gonna hold you up, all right? Just remember that. See if you can take that time off. What's going on, my brother? How you doing?
I'm doing all right.
Doing good. That's good. What's your name?
My name is Ephraim.
Zephyr? With the Z? Ephraim, like kind of like Ephraim, kind of like in the Bible.
Yeah.
All praises, all praise. My name's Sanak. How you doing, bro?
Doing all right.
All praise. What was going on with my brother? What my brother was telling you over there?
The brother was asking me what's going on in the community.
Right.
What's going on in the community is the police department.
Police department, huh?
Right. They ain't trying to stop this violence and none of this trouble. And then the government, they down with the violence and the trouble.
Understood.
So they put the guns out on the street, we can kill one another.
Right.
As long as we can't sit at the same table and break bread, it's gonna always be a problem.
So what's the solution? What do you think the solution is?
The solution is stop making all that bad rap music. It's ban rap music.
I agree. So is rap music the only solution?
It's the mamas and the granddaddies.
The moms, single parent households, raising monsters, kids, right?
But the older grandmamas and the grandparents need to school their granddaughters and grandsons how to come together as one, as we was growing up.
Hey, you might be cooking with fire. Let me show you that in the Bible, though.
Bring it out.
Yeah, we can talk about the oppression that the police officers have towards us. We can talk about the plight of our community being single parent household. But when it starts with us as men. We have to get ourselves together first. And then as we get ourselves together, the women will fall in line, the children will fall in line, right? So check this out. Leviticus, you know, read.
Leviticus chapter 19 and verse 17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thy heart.
Because there's a lot of killing going on in Columbus. God said we should not hate our brother in our heart, meaning our mind. Come on.
Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor.
God said we must rebuke our neighbor, meaning correct our neighbor. Meaning if I were to offend you, you should be able to come and say, I'm not, man. Hey, that was out of pocket, man. I'm offended. You know? Likewise, if I offend my sister should be able to come and say to me, like, hey, I'm not, hey, that was out of pocket. Likewise, my brother in the vehicle. How you doing, my sister?
I'm all right.
Oh, praise. So what we're going over here is that the community in Columbus, Georgia, our community, would you say is in a good state or a bad state?
Bad.
Absolutely, I would agree. What about you, my brother? You agree with the sister here? She said our community in Columbus, Georgia is in a bad state. My brother here, he said a solution is the oppression we go through with law enforcement, single parent household, gang violence, murder, and things of that nature, right? But I was telling my brother the solution, it starts with us as a community. First the men get in order, then our sisters follow it, and then the children trickle down. You follow me, my sister? So read this here again, read.
Leviticus chapter 19 and verse 17.
This is what God commanded us as the children of Israel, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Come on.
Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart.
God said we shouldn't hate our brothers in our heart, in our mind. We shouldn't have grudges, we shouldn't have bitterness, we shouldn't have hatred, murderous intent. That shouldn't be named amongst us as a people. Come on.
Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor.
So when my brother offends you, sis, or my sister offend my brother, guess what? Y'all should be able to come to one another and say, hey, this offended me. You'll be able to say, you know what? I see what you're saying. It wasn't my intentions. I'm sorry. And it should be squashed and dead right then and there. But what happened? Years of what? Grudges. Oh, she did this. He did this. Back in 80, back in 90, early 2000. And we hold on to those things. To this day. We have, even with our own family members, our own family, we still have that one particular family we may not see eye to eye over some stuff that happened years ago. Years ago. Now we old. Now we older. And still hold on to that same thing? Come on now, read.
And not suffer sin upon him.
Ultimately, it's supposed to be, hey, God says this. Those things that you are doing contrary to what God says, we should be correcting one another. I should be able to tell my sister, sis, God says women are supposed to be wearing dresses, not pants. I'm supposed to be telling my brother, God says you're supposed to have a beard on your face and not bald your head. And you should be able to go into the scripture and say, you know what? God did say that. Let me get myself right so before the kingdom of heaven comes and I be cast into that fire. Because guess what? By us being disobedient to God's laws, this happened to us as a nation of people. You ever wondered why slavery happened to the so-called blacks and Hispanics? Why did this happen to us? Why we was put on cargo slave ships? Why was our sons and daughters given to another people? Why our backs have been whipped? Why are we still oppressed today? It's because God is punishing us for being disobedient to his commandments. You have children?
That's
I
right.
have one son.
You have children as well, sis?
Yeah.
When your children are out of order, right? You punish them. You can't go outside. You can't ride your bike. You can't play the game. Things of that nature, right? But when they do what you say, you give them, huh?
She grown.
She was once a child, right?
Yeah.
You did those things, right?
She off the street. I feel everything that you're saying.
All praises. All praises. So I'm correlating that to what the Most High God is saying. God is saying for us as His children, obey His words and blessing will come upon us. Because we as parents, we understand. We say the analogy all the time. If you just do what I ask, I'll give you the word if it's in my power. Anything you want, I can give it to you. All you gotta do is follow what I say do. God said the exact same thing. God says, matter of fact, I'm agreeing. Give me Deuteronomy 28:1. I'm gonna read out the Bible. Because everything we say is gonna be coming out of the Bible. But the thing is, our reality is biblical prophecy. All right, you got a flyer, bro?
Yeah, bro, I gotta take that something.
Hey, it's the Lord's Day. Hopefully you ain't buying and selling. Read this.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 1.
My
Get out.
sisters, my sisters, come on over. We're having a family reunion, sis. Come on over. 2 minutes. 2 minutes of your time. So my sister, this is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 1. Read.
And it shall come to pass,
Meaning it will happen just like you told your children. It will. If you do what I ask, everything will be gravy for you. There was nothing I won't do for you. Come on.
if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
If you do what I asked, like I said earlier, this is what I'm paraphrasing, breaking it down for you. Come on.
To observe, to do all his commandments,
To do everything I'm telling you to do. Come on.
which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations on the earth.
Make them equal.
Above all nations on the earth.
God said He gonna put us on high above all nations on the earth. Are you from Columbus, sis?
Yeah.
Okay. You heard of Green Island Hills?
Yeah.
Do we live there?
No.
Hell no, we don't live in Green Island Hills. Them $750,000 million homes out there. Our people aren't there. You might have, don't get me wrong, you might have one or two slip through the cracks, but the bulk of our people is what? South Side, East Side,
Right.
Uptown, Bibb City, right? Where the hoods is, right? We're not, a lot of us are not in Midland. We're not in Green Island Hills. God says if we obey, we'll be above all people on the face of the earth, verse 15.
That's right.
But, just like going back to the analogy, you'll do everything in your power to, whatever your children ask, if it's within your power, you'll get for them as long as for their good, right? Are you in agreement with me so far, my brother? All praises, verse 15.
Verse 15. But it shall come to pass,
And this is the adverb. He said, hey, it's going to come to pass that what?
if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day.
So that's the clause. You told your child earlier, do what I say, everything is gravy. You don't do what I say, this is what God is saying. What's going to happen?
That all these curses,
I'm going to whoop your tail. That's what God says. Come on, read it again. That what?
that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Those curses came upon us and overtake us. That's why you have one white dude can hold 300, 400 slaves and none of them get out of order. Because why? This happened, this was our spiritual butt whooping. This was God says, hey, since you want to be disobedient, give me Deuteronomy 28, verse 46. I think that's what I want. Read that.
Verse 46, and they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. Because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness and with gladness of heart, for the abundance of all things.
We didn't confide in the Lord to provide for us like he did in old times, like he did when we came out of Egypt. We didn't confide in the Lord. We want to do our own thing. So God says, since you want to do your own thing, verse 49,
Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies,
God says you're going to serve your enemies. Come on.
which the Lord shall send against thee.
Did not this happen to us? Before we came off those slave ships from the west coast of Africa, were we speaking English? We learned that in slavery. You remember seeing Roots, 12 years a slave, right? As a little girl? Koto was like, but that's Gucci Kinte. He said, Toby.
What's your name?
Toby.
Until he beat out of you your native, the language you spoke. And now us as a people are speaking what? English. The so-called Hispanics didn't speak Spanish. The Portuguese taught them Spanish. You know? So understand, God says, since you are disobedient, curses will be upon us and then our children's children forever. That's why you don't see Columbus or anywhere our people are as a nation. We're what? At the bottom of society.
That's right.
No matter what city, no matter what state, no matter what country, the ghettos will be filled with us because of our disobedience.
Right.
What is a nation? Nation is men leading by example. Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is children with role models. Nation is unity. Nation is you.
And finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord.